What's going on YouTube? It's Pelfrey, the Red Sea Reefer 250. I know previously somebody said the tank looks very white, and it is because I don't have any gel filters for my phone, so whenever I'm recording like this, I turn the radions on all white spectrum. That way you can see what's in the tank. Otherwise it's just probably not going to be very visually appealing to the camera. So what's going on, everybody? And I know I went through that before, but I'm just going to go ahead and plug the Instagram real quick. It's at Pelfrey's Reef, PELPHREYSREEF. Instagram's free, and I post at least daily, maybe multiple times a day. And then I also have a website, PELPHREY.net. So if you're curious about anything on the tank, you can find that out on the website. And if you have the gyre pumps, I still have the settings that I ran on this tank for the standing wave. There's some links in there that might be beneficial to you. There's like a nitrate dosing calculator, just a reef chemistry calculator that I've linked. Of course, you can find them on Google if you wanted to, but they're also on the website. But anyway, I did move some corals around. So I originally had the green slimer and that stylo there over on this rock, and I moved it because I'm pretty sure I have more life rock on the way, and I wanted to just go ahead and get it moved over here and make the corals happy, which I can see now that the stylo is just getting beat up with flow. So I need to move it to like right there, and I'm gonna do that today. But I didn't want to have those corals get situated on this rock structure, and when the new rock comes in, cycle it, and then move the corals around again. That's what I was trying to minimize. Now I will have to take these off the rock, the hammers here, because they are glued to the rock, but that's not a big deal. But I did love, and I know I mentioned this previously, but I did love the Carib Sea life rock shapes so much that I really wanted to get rid of this rock structure. And my only concern is this rock structure is like 4 years old. So yeah, you know, I'm definitely going to be pulling out that structure, but I am going to cycle the new rock how I cycled this rock. And I do still have some rock down in the sump, but I hope that I don't go through a mini cycle, and I'm planning on cycling the new rock for probably like a month or so. And I know that does not even compare to, you know, 4.5 years that this has been in here, but I have faith that I can do it, and I'm gonna do it anyway, so we're just gonna jump into it. But I do have some like diatoms coming on the top of the rock here, which I expected, and you know, to be honest with you, it's getting blasted by light. It's probably 24 inches or so directly underneath the left XR15, so kind of expected that again. Today I'm just tinkering with the tank. It's pretty quiet right now. It's been raining all day. Matter of fact, it started raining last night, and it's going to rain all day, so nothing to do anyway except for piddle around the house and tinker with the tank a little bit. I did pull out 2 gallons of chaeto morpha, and I am running some pinky filter floss in here just to pick up any of the fine stuff. But the refugium was just slam packed, so I decided that I was going to remove some of it. And I do have the water level extra high in here. I need to drop this down, but I have this baffle up because I have rock in here. So I do need to drop this baffle down a little bit and then drop the filter tray down. The water level in the refugium will run low. See, I got some nasties down here, and I do need to replace. I put a brand new heater in here, and I'm going to buy another Eheim 150 watt heater to replace the old one. I do like running 2 heaters in here, but I actually looked at the BRS titanium heater with the Inkbird controller that's relabeled BRS, but I didn't read a lot of great reviews on it. I've used Eheim heaters since my very first freshwater tank. So that's just the direction I'm going to go in. And now that I have the Hannah check temp, or temp check, whatever it is, I know that I can calibrate the Eheim heater perfectly with the Hannah temperature checker. So I'm very excited about that, because if you aren't familiar with Eheim heaters, they do take a little tweaking to get the temperatures correct. I did go ahead and move the stylo, and you can see it's still got some colors to it, but it is definitely pissed off. So it was over here, and I moved it out of the flow, and I actually pointed the Tunze pump up a little bit so that maybe that won't be direct flow. I'm curious to see how this stag responds. It's been up here for about a week now, and I have moved this torch around quite a few times. You can see it's definitely not happy, and I'm probably going to lose it. And to be honest with you, I'm surprised that it's lasted this long. I've just not had great luck with torch corals. So, you know, I probably won't get another torch coral. Now, as far as hammers go and frog spawn, definitely want some more of those. The other cool thing about this life rock is you can see it's got little holes in here already, and I've just dropped these in here in the frag plugs. And that was some of the issue that I had over here, is you actually had to glue them down because this rock doesn't have very good holes in it. Now I know that I could have drilled it previously, but I didn't. But this new life rock has holes that I can drop the plugs into, and it makes just life a little bit easier for me. So very excited to get the other structure over here, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to do the same thing, just have two structures here. And I don't know if I'll do maybe like an arch or whatever. I want to maximize the amount of real estate I have in the tank. I'm actually going to move this one back some because I've got a lot of real estate behind this rock structure. I mean, I'm still doing good as far as the front section is concerned, but I do want to move it back and maybe pivot it just a little bit. I haven't glued this structure or anything together just yet, so it's just hanging on tight. And again, it's 4 pieces. It's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And on my life rock video, I got a ton of great suggestions on people that are using the rock and just talking about the rock in general, you know, saying that you could flip this piece around and you got more options. Obviously, I mean, there's so many options with this rock here, so I'm super thrilled with it. I know I spoke about the mini cycle that I was worried about, and I am running, if you didn't know this already, a ton of Cyperax in a bag down here, and I'm also running a ton of Cyperax on Cyperax rods in the overflow because it's just empty space there. So I decided I'd get some Cyperax rods made and throw them in the tank. I went ahead and moved this baffle down, and then moved the tray holder down and pulled the pinky floss out of there. The dosing tubes are now out of the water, and look how much water we've got in the return chamber. Quite a bit. So I'm gonna have to get that out with the cup and make sure that my salinity doesn't rise too much, but that's no big deal. I have a cup over here that I use for various things, and that's what I'm gonna use that one for. So you can see just how much water, I mean, that's probably a gallon or so, come out of the refugium from where I had this sitting up high, and it was blocking the bottom baffles there. And I also had this baffle up, which this is a crystal reef sump, and this is intended to be a skimmer section here. So I'll just go over it real quick if you don't know already. This is the Crystal Reef Red Sea Reefer 250 sump, and I had this one custom made. The first one that they sent me, I didn't like the dimensions of the skimmer chamber and the return pump chamber. So we have the tank that runs into the refugium section, and then it goes into a skimmer section, and then the return section, and that's it. So no filter socks, none of that. I had Octo Aquatics build me this filter tray so that I can run some media in here if I want to, and I do that on occasion, but I haven't in quite a while. This is also a Crystal Reef G6 6-gallon top off, and it lasts me about a gallon a day or so. Unfortunately, Crystal Reef has temporarily gone out of business for one reason or another. I'm not really sure, but the quality of this product it's amazing. So anyway, yeah, I got that sorted out, Probably gonna do some water testing now. I got the blues back on the tank to run its schedule. Probably get some frozen food ready for the fish here shortly, and then relax. So appreciate you watching. Let's look at this scolemia real quick. And these acans have just stayed fluffy. Looking great, looking great. There's that Jason Fox stylo, and the green slimer's looking great. So anyway, appreciate you watching. Be sure to check out the website at pelfrey.net. Check me out on Instagram at pelfreysreef, and I'll catch you on the next one.